Okay, good morning and welcome to our Elastic Community Virtual Meetup. My name is Olivia. I am on the programs team here at Elastic. Today we are joined by Isaac Levin. He is a Principal Product Marketing Manager focused in enterprise search here at Elastic. Isaac will be presenting how to add rich search experiences to your applications. If you have any questions throughout this presentation, feel free to post those in the chat. We should have plenty of time for a Q&A after he wraps up. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, Isaac.
Thank you so much, Olivia. Thanks for having me here. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. So thanks for the introduction. My name is Isaac Levin. I'm a Principal Product Marketing Manager at Elastic, focusing on enterprise search. And I wanted to call out, so the demos that you're going to see, all the content you're going to see, I really hope it instills this feeling of, wow, this is a really low barrier way for me to be able to light up search experiences for my applications. So let's just go ahead and get started. I have a little bit of presentation and I have a little bit of demo. So hopefully you'll tag along with me for it. So I think the first question that it's important to ask is why Elastic Enterprise Search? And hopefully over the course of the next 20, 30 minutes, an hour, we'll be able to have like a really impactful discussion about how Elastic Enterprise Search is best positioned to get you started from zero to search as fast as possible. Let me ask a really simple question. And if you're in chat, go ahead and throw some answers in there. So like, how many times do you search for something today? This could be any kind of search, whether you're searching for groceries, searching for someone that you're friends with on your favorite social media platform, or maybe you just search looking for some code that you need to be able to put into your application, right? There's a trick to this because we don't actually, we're not searching, right? We're actually looking or trying to find content or find answers to the questions that we have. And that's one of the things I want people to take away from this, is that you have to think about search not just as the conceptual meaning of search, but like what users are actually trying to accomplish with search. It's not just as simple as typing things into a text and getting results. They want personalization. They want to be able to feel like their history is put into play as well. And these are all the things that we're going to talk about throughout this little talk that I got. So how about we call it finding, right? So everyone's trying to find something at every interaction point they have. You know, whether it's, like I said, social media platform, Stack Overflow, e-commerce site of choice, we're all looking to find whatever we're searching for. So, I think at the end of the day, it's really important to figure out, everyone's trying to find something they need, and the ease of finding that has a direct impact on their satisfaction. How many times have you searched for something, like for instance, you're searching on Stack Overflow, or you're searching on your search engine of choice, and the first 5, 6, 7, 10 results aren't what you want? Your satisfaction immediately goes down. Your sentiment goes down. And we don't want that as developers for consumers of our search experiences. So I'm hoping that Elastic can provide some clarity in this particular area to make you successful. We also need this idea, think of this idea of the most single correct answer. So when we talk about what people are searching for, they kind of have an understanding of what the result is going to be. Like if I'm searching for pants, I'm probably looking for a particular style or a particular kind of pants. In that case, I might not be looking for one single pant, but eventually I'm probably going to buy one pair of pants, unless, maybe I'm a shopaholic and maybe I want to buy 5, 10 pairs of pants. But at the end of the day, we have a goal of a singular correct answer in mind. And it's really important to think about that as we build our solutions, because we want people to go to the results that we think, as developers and as operators, that they're going to be most successful with. I'm going to do a little bit of a product breakdown really quick. So for folks that are new to Elastic, or you're not familiar with Elastic's capabilities, Elasticsearch, our Elastic is a single search platform, right? That platform is enterprise search, and it powers critical search experiences over any data set. Regardless of what your data looks like, where it sits, enterprise search can help you out with that. And we do that with our ready-to-use search solutions pre-tuned for those search experiences, or where someone needs something a little more customized. You can use the open source tool like Elasticsearch to be able to build a search experience to your heart's content. Elastic powers any use case, and it's easy to set up and get started. And it's flexible out of the box solution that even non-technical teams can manage and optimize, though it's highly customizable through Elasticsearch. So at the end of the day, Elastic has a plethora of ways that you can light up search for your applications. If you are a smaller team and you're looking for more pre-built tools, we have those for you. If you're looking for a bespoke experience that's really custom to your environment or custom to your data sets, you can use Elasticsearch and build solutions just as easily as well. It's the whole gamut from getting started all the way to complex. So whether you're a team of 1 or 2 or a team of 2,000 with data engineers and data scientists and front-end developers and back-end developers, Elastic Enterprise Search meets you where you are. And here's some of the many use cases that Elastic Enterprise Search directly addresses. So whether you're searching over SaaS applications, web applications, e-commerce sites, you want to light up things like geo search or customer support, you have all of this myriad of internal search use cases, right? I think at the end of the day, any data set that you feel is critical to your business, Elastic enables you with the ability to search over it. And I want to show you a couple of demos in a second about some of the use cases that we can actually use very, very easily with Elastic Enterprise Search. So I'm shining a light on Enterprise Search today, but I think it's also important to call out that Elastic has other solutions as well, specifically in the observability and security space. So in this illustration, it shows how all of our solutions fit together. So all of them use Kibana, which if you're not familiar, is our free and powerful visualization tool. And it scales with Elasticsearch, which is the underlying data engine that powers that really, really rich search experience. Elastic also meets you where you are in your journey to the cloud. So you can download and install Elastic software on bare metal and virtual machines in your own data centers, or you can deploy it to the cloud in a managed service or manage it yourself with orchestration tools. You can also deploy it in hybrid and multi-cloud architectures. And when you think about where you can deploy, if you use Elastic Cloud, we are offered in all 3 major clouds, as well as Alibaba and Tencent. And we're available in over 45 regions, and that's only going to continue to grow. So depending on where you're geographically located, where your customers are, where your businesses are, you can feel safe in knowing that Elastic has the scalability to meet you where you are in that particular area as well. So Elastic, we live on these 3 principles: speed, scale, and relevance. So we want to be able to find our matches in milliseconds with structured and unstructured data sets. We want to scale massively and horizontally across hundreds of systems. We want to generate highly relevant results and actionable insights from that data. And I bet you folks are probably aching for a demo, so we're going to get right into it. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, feel free to throw them in the chat during. But I'm just going to go through a couple of really, really cool examples of how we can light up search across different data sets. So I'm going to close I'm going to stop that presentation view. And I'm going to go to our first use case. So here's an example for you. I'm a company, and I've been leveraging a ton of different third-party SaaS services to be able to store and organize my data. And I want to be able to search across all of those data sets in one cohesive place and manage them in one cohesive place. We have a pre-built tool just for that. It's called Workplace Search. And what Workplace Search allows you to do is exactly that. You can specify your organization. Let me zoom in a little bit because it might be a little bit small for folks. You can configure your organization sources. So what that actually means is, hey, I want to link to Google Drive or Dropbox. I want to actually also provide custom things like maybe movie posters or marketing assets. I have the ability to have mechanisms that aggregate all this data, and then with the beauty of the UI, be able to search across it over multiple places. You zoom in here. So for instance, if I want to search for something like documents updated by me, right? I'm not going to be able to find any, but if I go back, notes on Google Drive, still not. Let's go to Dropbox instead. So as you can see here, you can aggregate across all of your different data sources, and you have this rich search experience that actually shows on top of everything. So I have a bunch of, like, in my particular example, let me back up a little bit because I kind of started without setting the context. So I am a fictitious movie streaming service called Elastiflix. And what Elastiflix does is it allows us to have a great search experience from a website, similar to other streaming services that exist. I have underlying data sources and data and assets that I want to be able to search across. And that's what Workplace Search allows me to do. For instance, if I store all my movie posters in one particular area, if I have documents that are internal to my business, I can search across them with Workplace Search, and it gives me that really, really rich experience. One thing that's also great about Elastic is I mentioned that it's all built on top of Kibana. So I have access to great visualizations inside of Kibana that can give me really, really interesting pieces of information, like query volume or top queries that people have done across my business, right? So this allows me really, really to get a good feedback loop with our business users to figure out exactly what they're trying to accomplish and some of the things that we can help them with. So that's Workplace Search. So that's the ability to search over third-party SaaS providers, custom data sources where you want to aggregate content across them and have one single pane of view. And that's great for internal use cases like knowledge base and things like that. I wanted to also talk about another use case, which I think is really, really valuable. And that's if I'm building a solution, and I'm going to move something over here. So bear with me. So I'm going to talk now about a set of pre-built tools that allow developers like you and me to be able to light up these search experiences that I'm talking about for my particular company. So this is the website here. That's a widescreen. All right, so this is Elastiflix. So this is a streaming service, and as you can see here, there's some movies, and I have a search bar. So how do I actually get this, I guess you could say, experience created? I could just build using miscellaneous tools. Maybe like this site is written in React. Maybe I'll just write a fuzzy search component in React to be able to do that. But what if we had thousands, tens of thousands of movies, and you wanted to be able to search across not just the title of a movie, but the cast or the production company or anything else that's related to that particular movie? You wouldn't be able to do that, and your search experience be good for your end users. Could eventually it would start to become slow. And the last thing that we want to do when we're building applications is have a really negative search experience or a user experience be not ideal. So how do we accomplish that experience of being able to have a search bar, but also at the same time be able to have really scalable, flexible search as well? That's where another tool that we have that's pre-built, it's called App Search, comes into play. So App Search allows you to, I guess you could say, create a set of documents or a set of data that you can easily search over and tune to your heart's content. So I want to show you a couple of examples of how we do that. So the first thing is that everything that you're seeing here is available through Elastic Clouds. All my stuff is deployed to Elastic Cloud, and this is the management experience that you have for that. So when we talk about engines, which is how App Search treats different sets of data, and you have the ability to customize and tune different engines based on different needs. So I have two engines. One is TMDB, because I'm taking advantage of the TMDB database. If folks aren't aware of it, tmdb.org, really, really great set of stuff there. And I'm also taking advantage of the discussions board of that particular thing using the Elastic Web Crawler. And I want to click into that to show you exactly what I mean by the Elastic Web Crawler. So how many times have you had static content on a site that you need to be able to search over? Like say, for instance, maybe help desk tickets or blogs or other stuff that's on a website that you need to be able to search over that in a really effective way. The Elastic Web Crawler allows you to do that. You specify a domain. In this situation, it's themoviedatabase.org. And then I specify some crawling rules. And then I just hit this click start crawl button. And then eventually it will crawl those documents and allow you to search over them. So in this case, there's over 52,000 unique documents for this particular case. And I ran this a couple of weeks ago because I've done this demo a few times. It really showcases how effective you can turn on search for your applications. In the situation where I want to be able to look at them, I can look in this documents view and get a better feeling here. Let's just search for Marvel. So as you can see here, there's a list of results for that, right? So I can take a look and peruse all this data inside of the experience here that's lit up inside of Elastic Cloud. I think one thing that's really, really important to think about is that this is a use case where I need to be able to take static content that exists on a website somewhere. But what about in the situation where I actually have my own data? Maybe it's sitting in a SQL database, maybe it's a set of flat files. I want to do something else. I want to customize that experience. We can do that too. So Elastic Enterprise Search has a handful of language clients as well as REST that sit on top of REST APIs that allow you to be able to send content into it. And that's why I wanted to showcase this next engine that I built, which is all of the movies that exist for my streaming service. So there's over 8,000 of them. And so as you can imagine, if I was to input every single one of them by hand, it would be quite challenging. But I have the ability to write a program in my language of choice that adds all of that data to Elastic to be able to search over it in a really effective way. And when I index data into Elastic, I have this great management experience built into it. So as you can see here, it gives me some really high-level valuable pieces of data points. So I look at the total queries that have been run or the total documents and clicks, which is, in my opinion, a really, really valuable tool because it shows you user sentiment. And if I go to the Analytics tab, it gives me even more valuable information. Things like top queries or top queries that have been clicked on. Like these things are really, really important as I'm building out a search experience because I want the results that my users are looking for always at the top of the list for them. One thing that's also really, really great about Elastic Enterprise Search is, as I mentioned, there's a set of pre-built tools and facets that allow you to build great experiences. So for instance, relevance tooling, where you have the ability to actually add different weights and measures to your fields. Like let's just do a search here. Let's just search for Solo, right? So as you can see here, the first result obviously is Solo, a Star Wars story, and there's a score attached to it. I can actually change the tuning of my particular search algorithm. So for instance, if I move this, the number changes on the right-hand side, right? So in the situation where I want a more precise tuning or I want a more fuzzy search experience, I have the ability to do that really, really quickly and seamlessly. I also have the ability to add individual weights to different fields in my schema. Like say, for instance, I want the most weighted field to be title. So I can scroll that all that way up. And as you can see, these numbers are changing yet again. And again, these are just great tools because if I had to build this as a developer, it would be extremely challenging. So my opportunity of being able to really build a great search experience is just confounded by not confounded, that's not the right word, is just leveled up at the ability that Elasticsearch provides in that particular regard. I want to talk about synonyms now. Let me just confirm this because I don't want to save that. So in the situation where I know that there are known search queries or search keywords that I want to correlate to other fields or other values. So for instance, everybody knows who Dwayne Johnson is, but he also goes by a different name as well. So you have the ability to link, okay, so whenever somebody searches for The Rock, it's going to return results for Dwayne Johnson. And you can customize and add any synonyms you want here. For instance, if you wanted to have abbreviations in here, if you want to have misspellings in here, you can do that all in here in the synonyms area. Also, this really, really valuable is this idea of curations, which is the ability to promote documents or promote results for a particular use case or particular searches. So I have a couple here that I've already created. So when people search, for instance, for Spidey, I want Spider-Man to come up as a promoted result every single time. Because when people are searching for Spidey, more than likely they're searching for Spider-Man. And same thing with Tony Stark, right? If people are searching for Tony Stark, more than likely they're looking for Iron Man content. There's one great thing that's came out recently with enterprise search, and that's the ability to have curations that are powered by adaptive relevance. Adaptive relevance being this concept of adding suggestions to our experiences, which can augment the experience of our operators who are building out these search experiences, right? So this idea of being able to use the power of machine learning to cater results to our users, but we're still subject matter experts. We know what our users probably are looking for. So the ability for us to kind of get that one leg up is really, really valuable. So here's a couple of ones that have been suggested for me. So what this means is that enterprise search has actually taken a look at click data based on particular search results, and it's identified a handful of curations that we should be looking to implement. So if I search for Ryan Reynolds, for instance, Ryan Reynolds, when most primarily people, when they search for Ryan Reynolds, they click on Deadpool. So I have the ability to actually accept this promotion. So whenever somebody searches for Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool will be the first result to come out. In previous search experiences, Deadpool might not be the first one to come up every single time. It might be another movie that Ryan Reynolds has been in. You also have that same experience with The Rock, right? So most people that are searching for a rock are searching for Moana. I don't know about you, but my kids love Moana. And more than likely, if I'm searching for The Rock, I'm trying to get to Moana as fast as possible. So the ability to do this is really, really effective because it really conveys the experience to the user that their results are personalized based on factual data that's built over time. And I think at the end of the day, one thing that I would love for folks to think about is like, this is great. I had this awesome experience, but like, this is just catering like the results. Like at the end of the day, I still only care about that search bar. My users only really care about that search bar. So Elastic has an amazing tool that I love to show that basically allows you to drop a search bar into any page, and that's called Search UI. So just let me show you what it looks like in action. So I'm going to go back over to my Elasticflix website. And as you can see here, there's a search bar at the top of the page. So if I search for something like Ryan Reynolds, it gives me some suggested results, right? So I can click on those, or I can just hit enter, and it'll take me to a search page here. Did I hit the wrong button? Maybe. Let's hit refresh. Demo environment's never working the way you want to. Let's search for something other than Ryan Reynolds. Let's search for The Rock and then hit enter. All right. So it takes you to a search experience. As you can see, I haven't plugged in that particular adaptive relevance powered curation yet. So Moana is nowhere here, even though I'm searching for The Rock, right? So if I was to actually promote that document, it would give me a better experience because it would bubble up that particular result. But so Search UI, everything that you see in this page is made available through Elastic. And I want to show you what that looks like. But I have this ability to have search results. I can add different filtering. I can add sorting over here by relevance and release date, for instance. And then obviously I can click on all of them and generate click information. So the question is that, okay, this is great. I want to use this today. Like, how do I get started with that? So we have Search UI, like I mentioned earlier. And what Search UI is, it's an open source React-based component that you can actually download and put into your application today. And that application is that component is pre-tuned to hit your Elastic Enterprise Search instances, and you'll have search right away. And one great thing that you can do with Search UI is you can customize it. For instance, I can go to this generation page and I can specify, let's just say I want to filter by cast, or not by cast, by budget, maybe genre. Let's do sorting by budget. And then I can generate an experience. So when I generate that experience, this is Search UI that it gives me right here. And then I have the ability to download this as a zip package. Like I said, React component, JavaScript, can drop it into any page and it'll just start working. And I can search here. So I search for The Rock, and it's going to give me those same results earlier. But I have the ability to configure my filters, my facets, and my sorting all from one particular really single pane of glass, right? So at the end of the day, it's really, really important to call out all the different things that are pre-built as a part of Elastic Enterprise Search. And you can do all these things today, pre-built, or you can build custom experiences completely catered to your business case with Elasticsearch proper, getting access to some of the great rich features that are being built in that. And those features are just going to get more and more brought to Enterprise Search as well over time. One thing as well that I think that I would love to showcase is, like, I was showing this analytics section earlier, right? Which is great. However, maybe you already have Elastic set up for, maybe you have the observability solution turned on, but you haven't played around with Enterprise Search yet. And you're already taking advantage of Kibana. You have all these great Kibana visualizations. So you can actually use Kibana to search over app search data. So I wanted to show what that looked like right here. So for instance, I can look at top queries, and all this is in Kibana, like, as I mentioned, the free and open visualization tool. And I can look, say, okay, look like Jungle Cruise was the top searched item, right? And I can continue to build really rich visualizations and build out dashboards that allow me to share these really interesting data points with my users. So at the end of the day, it's really, really important to call out that there are a ton of different ways that you can light up search for your applications. And I'm glad to showcase some of them. And one of the things that I'd love to finalize with before we get into questions is I would love for folks to take a look at Enterprise Search and start an Elastic free trial. So for folks that aren't aware, you can actually download, or you can not download, you can actually go to elastic.co, which is our website, and get started today with a 14-day free trial of the entire Elastic Cloud suite. That includes Enterprise Search, of the observability, and security. So I highly recommend you do it. And I would love to answer any questions that folks have in chat. Thank you again so much for your time today. And yeah, I would love to see some of the great experiences that you're building with Enterprise Search and Elastic. So thanks. All right, so we got some questions in the chat already. This is awesome. So do you need a separate crawler to index the content, or is a crawler part of Elasticsearch? So like I mentioned earlier, the crawler is a part of the Enterprise Search solution. So you will need to have Enterprise Search running, or a version of Enterprise Search running. So in the situation where you're running that into your local environment, you would have to stand up an instance of Enterprise Search. Or if you're in cloud, you'll have to have Enterprise Search enabled. But once that's done, you can easily go and create an engine and point the crawler at a particular domain of your choice and crawl to your heart's content. Hope that answers your question.
It looks like that may be all the questions.
Okay, cool.
Isaac, is there a way people can contact you if they have additional questions? I know you were thinking about tweeting out this video.
Yeah. So in the title of my name, it says Isaac Levin, and then my Twitter handle. So if you definitely want to reach out more about Elastic Enterprise Search, search experiences, all these great things, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. At the end of the day, I just want to have great conversations and help developers be better. So at the end of the day, that's my goal. And I really appreciate everybody taking some time to tune in today.
Yes, thank you, Isaac. And thank you, everyone, for joining our virtual meetup. Comment down below if there are other topics you want our team to host presentations around. But other than that, we'll wrap up. Thank you again, Isaac, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.